I can't really think of a clever way to intro this video, so let me just ask you a question. How do you guys feel about cheating in a charity tournament? There we go. That fucking got your ears perked up. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another banger Advil video. We're fucking back. Did I upload 2 videos in the past couple weeks? What is this? Jobless? Yeah, a little bit. So if my amazing intro didn't convince you and help you understand the situation, let me explain what's been going on. Cheating. It's a thing that happens pretty much all the time in anything competitive online. People just don't like to fucking lose. But recently, a massive streamer named DrLupo got caught cheating in a charity chess tournament. God, say that 10 times fast. I bet you fucking can't. Called Pogchamps. Pogchamps is a chess tournament hosted by chess.com and Twitch, which aim is to get a bunch of streamers and famous personalities to compete in a 1v1 chess tournament. And the winner gets $100,000 for a specific charity and supposedly $100,000 for themselves. And recently on Pogchamps 6, a streamer named DrLupo got caught cheating against his match versus WolfeyVGC. If you don't know who DrLupo is, he's a massive streamer. Been on Twitch for pretty much the inception of it. He's not very recognizable, but he is massive in like the gaming sphere, you know, Fortnite, Call of Duty, stuff like that. And he has raised millions of dollars for charity organizations. I know him mostly, him doing all those charity streams and playing Magic the Gathering. So I'm well informed. But during Pogchamps 6, the most recent event of Pogchamps, he got caught cheating. And he didn't just get caught cheating, he also lied about it multiple times. Genuinely fucking deplorable in my opinion. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let me explain the full situation. So DrLupo is playing his round in the chess tournament versus WolfeyVGC, which is a Pokemon streamer, YouTuber, and world champion. Genuinely a really smart guy. DrLupo is ranked 600, which is pretty much one of the starting positions you're ranked when you make a brand new account on chess.com. And WolfeyVGC was ranked 1300, which if you ask anyone who knows anything about chess, is pretty damn good. So the odds were stacked against him, fairly obviously. And during the first game, DrLupo made a massive mistake and blundered his queen. If you don't know anything about chess, don't worry, I'll break it down for you. Basically, he let the horsey piece get taken, thus allowing his queen, probably the best piece in the entire game, to be taken. And then from there, the audience basically just saw him steamroll WolfeyVGC, a savant in strategy games, get fucking steamrolled by this guy. And so obviously people saw that and were a little suspicious, a little what's the thing? For the rest of the games, DrLupo was just making crazy moves like the top chess professionals probably would have done.
And wins a very convincing game, like a really high level game of chess that looked like if I played Wolfey, I might, you know, I might pull off.
Not someone who has the same rank as a middle schooler who's bored in class. Just completely steamrolled him, and obviously he got called out on not only chess forums, but live stream fails and a bunch of other public forums dedicated to chess and live streaming. And before we move on ahead, I want to clarify something. I've seen a lot of people just ask, why isn't it possible just for him to be lucky and be able to hit these magic and insane moves just naturally? Because there is some luck in chess. It's a lot of skill, but there is just a chance that someone will just see something, and it doesn't take a lot of insane thinking to move a piece. And I do kind of understand that thought process, but it doesn't really work that way. I've grown up playing chess, and I will promise you that when you are playing chess, especially a competitive game like this, you don't really have time to think it through. Like people who have been staring at it and have the hindsight, being in comment sections and being on Reddit threads. But still, I understand it, and I completely understand the thought process. So what I decided to do is I got a few of my friends who are pretty what's the nice word to describe them, because they're my friends, I don't want to be pretty dog shit, and pair them up and see if they would react similarly to how DrLupo would. Someone who's ranked 600 could do the same as DrLupo, who's around the same category as him. Maybe it's just a fluke, maybe the people who are calling him out are a little fucking crazy. So yeah. So for this, I got a bunch of people who were pretty good at chess. Yeah. And since they aren't the best players, similar to DrLupo, I recreated the scenarios where DrLupo just did insane plays, and I saw how people of a similar caliber would do. Now for everyone, I did a control setup, which was DrLupo blundering his queen, and pretty much everyone answered how DrLupo would. But from there, I actually gave the complicated questions and really saw if people of a similar caliber would do the things that DrLupo would do. And the answer was universally no. Like in this scenario, when the white rook went down to b8 to go next to the black rook at c8, pretty much everyone decided to attack the white white rook who just went down to b8, but DrLupo decided to move his king to d7, which was pretty abnormal. And while some people responded with the obvious answer, some people didn't.
I think I'm gonna strategize and try and move one of these pawns, so I'd probably move a pawn up. That was an option. Huh? I forgot moving the rook was an option.
Or like when DrLupo got his queen taken and he started using the cheating program, he decided to do an insane move when most people would just take the bishop that took his queen. And consistently the people asked just did the most normal and obvious moves, especially for people who are in the lower ranks of chess.
You're at 40 seconds. What are you looking at?
Not even considering any of the moves that DrLupo did. Like, I showed them afterwards, and a lot of them were stunned and didn't even think of that, or were asking what would come from that afterwards. I hope it's pretty fucking obvious that he didn't really know what the fuck he was doing. He was just following a script.
Maybe if I thought about it a little bit more, I could think of a...
Oh, yes! I realize that might just be an entire shot of my dick.
Could be.
I hope so. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense to people who aren't really familiar with chess at all. I know it's kind of confusing, but now that we have that covered, let's talk about how he actually cheated, because this is a little confusing. DrLupo responded basically 3 or 4 times, all with different explanations on how he cheated. The first one was that he just accidentally had his chat open and people were feeding him information from there. But it turns out that no one in his chat, not even YouTube chat or Twitch chat, gave him any of the right answers at all. There's only 2 or 3 people who were actually giving chess move suggestions, and from there they were completely wrong or not what he did. So that was immediately just not right. Eventually DrLupo pivoted to saying that he accidentally had the live stream on. He had it up and he was listening to it the whole time. And while that might have been true, people were still a little suspicious about that, because with the pace and the frequency that he was moving and the way he was acting made it seem like it wasn't an accident. And then after that he was like, I'm done talking about the drama, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. And then eventually he flat out just said that he cheated and used Lichess. Now Lichess is similar to chess.com, except it's a little bit more dog shit. Chess.com is like the standard that people use, and Lichess is more for experimenting and kind of just fucking around while playing chess. And Lichess does this thing where you can make setups and figure out the perfect move from a computer just by doing that. So what he would do is he would see a move, he would put it on Lichess, he would ask him what to do, and then he would do the computer perfect move. And we just recently found this out like in the past couple days. So before he even told us this, the internet went fucking crazy. Pretty much every single chess content creator lost their fucking mind at him. And a bunch of content creators like Asmondgold talking about, oh, this fucking piece of shit needs to get banned. He cheated. That's against TOS. He should get banned. I fucking hate this guy.
Again, undeniably break the rules of the website. There is no gray area in this. There is no maybe in this. There is no possibility in this. There is no, oh, but what about? No, it is absolutely plain and simple, night and day, black and white, obvious that cheating should get you suspended on the website. Will DrLupo get suspended? He should.
But once the public found out he cheated in this massive twit longer that he made, people still got angrier. XQC Asmondgold still talking shit about him. LSF blowing it out of the fucking water, losing their goddamn minds. And he has become kind of a laughing stock of the sorts, a lol cow as you call them, on Twitch. And people are really shitting on him, which I think is completely fair. I don't blame him for shitting on him, because what he did is shitty. But one thing that I don't understand with the whole argument of ban them, cancel them, demoralize them, make them feel like shit, is the sentiment that I don't really stand for with the appropriate context towards it. But I'm gonna quote one of my goats, iDubbbz, where he says it's either all okay or none of it's okay. Oh, what do you mean by that, Advil? Well, let me explain. There are so many things on Twitch, so many game shows, so many tournaments, so many everything that streamers will get paid out for massively, or it's for charity, or in between, where people just fucking cheat. One of the most infamous cheating scandals on all of Twitch is when WolfeyVGC, a Smash commentator and figurehead in the Smash scene, cheated on Miskif's show, Schooled. It was a massive thing, and the prize money is a huge thing, which he won, but eventually later gave it back. But he did get in trouble, but no one called for him to get banned. It took a few months and he was back on top. He's actually doing better than he was before. If you ask anyone who was in Miskif's school, they'll tell you that pretty much everyone cheated. It was a universal thing.
Yeah, so let me start with last season. So last season we have an issue with multiple people cheating, and we said, hey, we're going to come back for season 2, but no one can cheat. Now Miskif will continue to make cheating jokes, which none of us think are funny anymore. which is probably why you got a little confused and thought cheating was actually allowed, but it's actually not allowed.
Which I'm okay with. Well, okay, put a big asterisk on there. I'm not actually okay with that, but let me explain. Please, don't put me on LSF, please. Cheating is not that fucking big of a deal. Hot take. Like, yes, it's bad. Objectively, it's a bad thing. And if the person who cheated said that they cheated, but did not feel any remorse or guilt or anything and just continued on, then yes, they should be called out and they should have action taken against them. But unlike EE, I don't see why people are losing their shit on DrLupo. I want to clarify, it's fucking bad. It's not good at all. But also, there's been so many people who have cheated on so many Twitch sponsored events, massive sponsored events, or just creator events, and they haven't gotten a single fucking 5-page twit longer made about them. But DrLupo does. I don't think it's fair considering that DrLupo, out of everyone, has done more than enough for charity. Again, I'm not running defense for the guy. I just think the reaction is kind of crazy. And there was an event that was similar to the DrLupo situation with XQC, where during one of the Twitch rival events, he infamously trolled and got suspended on Fall Guys, where he just kind of held someone in place. Actually, it was DrLupo, which is kind of concerning, but he just held him in place and didn't let him finish the game. But the difference between that and cheating is, in my mind, Twitch probably saw that this behavior was toxic. Not saying cheating isn't, but this behavior was explicitly toxic in an event like this. And I do think DrLupo should face some kind of punishment. I'm not saying that he should get off scot-free, and he definitely hasn't based on everyone's reactions. And it's definitely a fucked up situation. But I think calling for him to get banned is a little insane. I would agree with a suspension similar to XQC, but being banned is a little much. But what I do think is the most fucked up thing that come from this whole DrLupo situation is the fact that Wolfey basically got kicked out of the competition, not because of his skill, not because he couldn't compete, purely out of the fact that DrLupo cheated. Wolfey is someone who actually cares about chess and cares about strategy games and is genuinely good at it and put the time and work into it, and it's extremely unfair and unfortunate that he wasn't able to express that because DrLupo cheated. And I want to make that clear, that is, in my opinion, the most fucked up part, that Wolfey got cheated out of an opportunity that he was clearly very excited about. And it sucks for him really bad. And I feel really bad for him, and it's completely unfair in my opinion. Now, what do I think he should do for forgiveness? Well, DrLupo is a rich and successful YouTuber. I think he should apologize, which he has. I think he should donate money to the charity. I think he should apologize to Wolfey independently. And I think really the only thing he can do to win favor back from the general population is play me in a game of Magic the Gathering live on my channel. I think it will really win the public's favor back for him. That's what they've been saying. That's what the street's been saying. They're keeping it 100. But if I'm being serious, the punishment that he deserves in its worst is a few days suspension. And I think the bare minimum that he should do is apologize, give to charity, apologize to Wolfey in his DMs in private, and probably not participate in the next Pogchamps or next Twitch rivals if asked. I feel like that's kind of fair to ask from him. But I think that's it for me today. I appreciate you watching. And if you want to watch a streamer who doesn't cheat, I've been streaming on YouTube a bit more, so make sure to check me out and follow me on Twitter because I'm fucking hilarious on there. I'm a funny guy. And subscribe and check out my other videos because they're also really good. I'm trying to hit 10K by the end of the year, and I'm around 5,000 off, so please subscribe if you haven't. It would mean the world to me. Please. But I think it's gonna be it for me today. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Breakfast with a bitch named Tiffany, Wrist gave me stint cause it's ivory, Got your mommy with me now, irony, Trying to pipe my dentist, fake a cavity, What? I got my panties up, and you withdrew. I got my panties up, and you withdrew. I got my panties up, and you withdrew. I got my panties up, so I'm the center of attention, and